Where are you on the setting limits and having expectations? So if you've got high expectations and you set limits on your children, then you are in that sweet spot that Barbara Colarosa calls the backbone family. So you've got high expectations, the kids know what's in and out of bounds, and you have lots of warmth. I see, unfortunately, in my business, many families who have high control, but not much warmth. Do it because I said so. Just you wait till your dad comes home. If you don't come right now, you are grounded for a month. Oh my God, talk about punishing the parent. Grounding a kid for a month. No way. So ask yourself just now, where do you fit in that kind of square? Are you a wishy-washy, you don't think of that, no, you won't describe yourself as wishy-washy, but do your kids know that no really means yes after 15 times? Anybody in here? No, you don't have to raise your hands. And how many of you are the brick wall? Do it because I said so. Kids should be seen and not heard. Do it. And you don't give the kids a chance to, but. Why do I talk about this? Because how you interact with your kids, your relationship with your kids is so much more important than your controlling of their behavior. If we think as a parent, what we need to do is connect with them emotionally, figure out what's going on, we are going to do far better for our children than if we think, oh my God, we have to make them behave, they have to do this, this is what I had to do. We have tons and tons of research that shows the parenting that has kids turn out the best. It shows that children who have parents with clear expectations, so that means that they have high control, but lots of flexibility, the backbone, and lots of warmth. Those children do better. But sometimes not. I work, as you heard, with child welfare, so with children's aid. And we know that intense neglect changes how that brain is going to develop. We also know that high parental conflict or running kids down verbally also changes their brain. And what part of the brain is being changed is the emotional part of the brain. So as that little baby is looking at her mum and smiling and cooing, the mum is going back and forth with her, that is changing the brain. That is telling that little baby that the world can be a scary, uncomfortable place, but somebody here is helping me soothe. Somebody here is looking after me. And by being regulated, that baby learns how to regulate herself. Same is true in toddlerhood. As little ones are learning language, the frustration of, I want that, I can't have that, how that is managed, is the kid put on timeout every time they bite or every time they hit? Or are they picked up and said, oh, it's so hard when you want something, honey. Okay, let's go over here. That is building their emotional brain. And you know, we can think of the brain like my hand here. We have the first part of the brain that develops is the primitive part of the brain. It's the part that has our heart rate and our temperature. That's in place when babies are born. Imagine this is the brain, the spinal column. It's spaghetti-like. The next part to develop is this, the thumb coming in. That's the emotional part of the brain, the lizard brain, the limbic system. Anybody have 2-year-olds? Anybody have 13, 14-year-olds? Under construction. The emotional lizard part of the brain is the next area to develop. And then the last area to develop is the thinking part of the brain, right? So the thinking part of the brain is the last to develop. So how does this little 3-year-old who really wants something really badly and they're upset, so here they are, they're wah, 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 I want it. As they develop words, they're able to make the connection. They're able to say, oh, I know, I really want to go to Nana's now, but you said we're going to go later. The little 2-year-old has a fever, and you want to give them medicine, and their pink part's going, this brainstem part, and this part here, the limbic part is going, and you can't talk them into taking it. But by the time they're 4, because of the relationships that have been built, because the drip, drip, drip of everyday life, the child has learned when my lizard is going, there's someone who helps me soothe. They can say, you know what, Daddy, even though it tastes yucky, it will make me feel better. Can you see how we've got the brain in the palm of our hand? So now we think about, okay, so how does this develop in 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds? How do we get this thinking part of the brain to be active as much as possible? Well, guess what? It's through relationships. By having predictable, warm, high expectation adults around, then children learn that the world is a safer place.